Hello and welcome to Sweetwater. I'm Mason Marangella from Vertex Effects. I'm here with my good friend Ford Thurston, and we're going to be talking to you about the Steel String Supreme. The Steel String Supreme is based on the highly coveted Dumble Steel String Singer amplifier. Now you may be saying to yourself, Mason, you guys already make a steel string pedal. What's the difference between the Steel String Supreme and the Steel String MK2? Well, I'll tell you what the difference is. The difference is the Steel String Supreme not only offers the same exact controls and circuitry as the original Steel String with our bottom three knobs that is assigned to the foot switch on the left, we've also added 5 new controls for a clean blend of the EQ circuit in with the original steel string, so you can actually blend the 5 new knobs in with the original steel string circuit. You also have a fat control, so you can adjust how big you want the note to be, whether you want it really, really fat and big, or you want to make it a little thinner to be able to fit into any mix. And then we also have a separate input control versus output control, so you can add in more gain from the input side, or you can add more gain on the output side, making it not only a great amp in the box, but we also are able to run this direct. Today we're actually going to be running through a 2-notes cab simulator, running a 212 Celestion G1230 cabinet that I've modeled after a Carry Wright cabinet that I have, which is the same cabinet maker that has made many of the famous Dumble amplifier cabinets. And I'm actually going to be linking those for you, so if you want to download the exact IR we're going to be using for the direct sound today, you can have that for your own amplifier sound, which is going to be a really great thing. These are like, you know, tens of thousands of dollars just for a Dumble cabinet, let alone the Dumble Steel String Singer amps, which are almost
$30,000 cabinet.
$30,000 cabinet in some
crazy.
cases. Just a speaker cable off a Dumble cabinet's $1,000.
The solder.
Yeah, the solder itself. So we're giving you not only the sound of the original Dumble Steel String Singer, which we actually modeled after this pedal. We had access to Steel String Singer #1, and we used that to inform the design, and we're expanding upon it. So again, it's not just the regular steel string. You have 5 new controls, extra tweakability, plus the ability to use this as a true amp in the box to go direct. Now, one other caveat about our signal today is we are using a source audio collider for the reverb, because we want to make sure we have the same reverb not only going to our sounds that are from the amp with a microphone, but also the direct, so you have the exact same sounds going to both, so you can evaluate how close we're able to get to the original amp sound with this, not only direct, but through an actual mic'd cabinet. And we're going to be using a Hot Rod DeVille today as our tube amplifier. So let's just start off with our clean tone. It's disengaged right now. We got a Strat. Let's do it. So basic clean tone, we're just hearing the amplifier right now, no pedal engaged. Let's go ahead, I'm going to bring in both sides, not only the regular steel string, but the Supreme EQ, the 5 new controls that are beyond what the steel string does on its own. Yeah, I mean already, it's a completely different amp already. It's got a little bit more grit, got some compression, got some fatness. I got one of my favorite settings going on right now where I actually like to add a little bit more input gain as well as output gain. So you can see on the output gain here on the bottom, got a little bit beyond halfway, and I've also cranked my input gain, which is says output on it, and I've got my level attenuated, so it's actually clipping the preamp section a little bit more, so I'm getting a little preamp, a little power amp gain, just like you would on a standard amplifier. But let's try something maybe a little bit more neutral. Let's just go everything at noon. So I did do a little bit of manipulation of the knobs as Ford was playing. I actually added a little bit more fat into it because I felt like, you know, the Strat sometimes can have a certain stringiness to it, which is part of the Strat quality.
Yes.
But I wanted to kind of push that a little bit more over the edge, make the note a little bit bigger, almost the same effect if you went from 10s to 12s on your string gauge. Just kind of adds in that body. The fat control is really excellent doing that. And I decided that I wanted to add a little bit more level to kind of clip the preamp section a little bit more, just give you a little bit more roundness. And I find that the preamp gain adds a little bit more brightness to it, and I can balance that out with the gain of the steel string if I want to kind of add back in some low end to that distortion. Let's try another setting here, another one of my favorite settings. I like to kind of go for that darker kind of John Mayer, Stevie Ray Vaughan, where I darken up the preamp and I get a little bit more of the power amp gain here. Let's try this. We're gonna have more clean, a little more fat. Let's try that. I mean, let's just go back to our reference here for a second. Let's hear the clean again.
Anemic is the word, I think.
I mean, it's not that this is a bad amplifier. It's just that this is really doing the Dumble steel string thing. The steel
really
string adds the bigness, it adds that mid, and we can control the fatness of the note. It's just like it's like having another amplifier.
I did not
for your
feel
amplifier.
for a second like I was plugged into a pedal.
No, and it's
Crazy.
And it has a little grit to the note, but it's still totally clean. Let's just bring this back in. Let's just see what we got.
I was on the second position. I'm gonna go. Tell you what, I'm gonna go back to neck and I'll just kind of roll through.
Just do a little. Man, you could sign up for the Blues Jams as B.B. Ray Shepherd with that thing.
B.B. Shepherd, that's great.
So these are some of the basic tones that we're able to get. I also want you to make sure that you're checking out how this sounds with the direct sound. We're going to play a little bit more. We're going to not use the amplifier sounds, and we're just going to play some of these same things direct so you can get a sense of how close this approximates the actual Dumble sound, even if you're not using a tube amplifier. And you want to just consolidate, make it easy for yourself, go direct into your DAW, or you got to go direct because you don't have the availability to use an amp as a backline. This can be a great way to do it. Let's give a couple of those sounds.
This thing totally does the JM sound to the bone. It's crazy.
Yeah, little Johnny Mayer.
Yeah. Almost like harmonics, like the notes rise.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like a Dumble would, you know?
Yeah, and there's a certain compression in the Dumbles, which is sometimes just hard to get out of your standard tube amp. It almost has the effect of a hotter bias, more compression, being able to bring a lot more body around every note, and just, you know,
Crazy.
getting that classic tone.
I was hitting that chord. Hear that harmonic right there?
Oh yeah.
Hear it?
Yeah.
That's on a clean sound. When do you hear that happen?
Wait, let's listen. Let's turn this.
Sustain. Sustain. Sustain.
Go, show us the clean again.
Fading away. It's crazy.
It just doesn't have
The thing.
It doesn't have the thing. It's really about. It's bringing life to your tube amp. It's bringing life to your direct sound, and it gives you the simplicity to go either way. Of course, if you have a great tube amp, you can use it with a great tube amp. If you want to use it direct, you can use it direct. And if you want to go with the Steel String MK1, the smaller version, the little brother of this guy, it's also great. But some people don't have the great tube amps to be able to go all the way into the Dumble territory. And if you really want to do that, this is going to be the way to do it. Stack it with your favorite overdrive. Stack it with a tube screamer. You're in SRV. You're in John Mayer territory for sure. Going with this in your clean amp platform or your DAW.
And we were messing around with this and smacking this thing with any type of TS circuit in the front too. It just loves it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, This pedal loves other pedals.
It does.
It's crazy.
It loves other pedals. You can run your delays into it, whatever you need to do. Because you have so much control of the input-output gains separately, it gives you a lot of ability to be able to run other pedals with it, not have any issues with having to deal with line level or any of this other business. It's all instrument level. Run it right into it, 2 notes like we're doing here today. You can get great direct tones. You can get great tones through an amp.
I haven't been this impressed with a pedal just playing it, and I don't maybe ever. It's just knowing that I could be running both for live. I could be running my real amp and direct if I have like a little cabinet emulator and have the punch of that direct sound with the fluff of the speaker, so to speak. Putting those together, I just can't imagine that you lose. Or if you're not even doing that and you're using this as just your preamp, your rig goes down, you're saved.
You totally saved.
You're saved.
Yeah, absolutely. Another differentiator between the Steel String and Steel String Supreme is we actually have 2 sets of toggles. One for the jazz and rock, and another one for the bright and deep. Now, the jazz and rock work the same way as they do on the standard Steel String MK2, but we also offer a bright and deep. The bright is like a 2K boost, so it adds a little bit more top end, and the deep is like a 250 boost, so some more low end punch if you need it. And these are actually both 3-way toggles, so if you're in the middle position of the 3-way toggle, it just bypasses those parts of the circuit so that you don't need to use them if you don't need them. Another thing about it is you do notice that there's a second foot switch. This one on the left side says Steel String, the one on the right says Supreme EQ. And when you hit the Supreme EQ, that's what's engaging the top 3 knobs as well as the toggle switches. So you can use these independently or you can use them together. I like to use them together, especially when I'm going direct, and I recommend that you do that so you get the full essence of this analog solid state amplifier when you're going into your direct to console, DAW, whatever it is, so you can actually get the full benefits of the pedal. But if you're going to use it through a tube amplifier, you can use it in a myriad of different ways. You can use the Steel String and then use the Supreme side as a boost, or you can put them both on and actually use it as many Dumble amplifier users do when they have a tone stack bypass. So you would disengage the Supreme EQ, and that would jump the level up so you could use that as a solo boost.
Amazing.
If you're interested in checking out more about the Dumble tone, or you're interested in it, you're not quite sure what it is, We got great people right here with your Sweetwater sales engineers that can answer more for you about this product, what it can do, its capabilities, and even give you some of the product offshoots that you can pair with this to use it direct or use it in front of your amplifier seamlessly to nail the same sorts of tones that we got today. I am Mason Marangella from Vertex Effects, and this is my good buddy Ford Thurston. We thank you for watching today, and if you like what you saw, we highly recommend that you like, you subscribe, you leave us a comment, and by subscribing, you are able to stay up to date with all the latest and greatest stuff that's coming out from Sweetwater. Until next time, see you later. Ford, can you play us out?
Sure.